Hey gang, I wanted to drop in quickly today to talk about some of my favorite wine, and that is wine from Georgia. Now, before I get started, I just want to clarify that I'm talking about the country of Georgia, not the state of Georgia, two very different things. So the reason why I love Georgian wine so much is that it is incredibly unique. There are so many different styles coming out of Georgia, and it's a country that is deeply rooted in its winemaking traditions. So if you haven't gone to a bottle shop and purchased wine from Georgia, or you haven't tried it at all, I highly suggest you branching out from wines from the States, wines from Italy, France, Germany, wherever you get your wines, and grab yourself a bottle of Georgian wine. So I'm just gonna spend the next few minutes just talking about some quick highlights on why the wine coming out of Georgia is so awesome. So let's kick things off. So first off, as I was saying, it is a country that has been making wine for ages. And when you hear about old world wines, you think of France, you think of Italy, you think of Spain, all of these kind of motherlands of wine. Yet Georgia's been making wine prior to so many countries. They've been making wine for about 8,000 years. And what's really cool about the wine that's coming out of Georgia is that so many winemakers are using the same traditions and winemaking methods that they did 8,000 years ago. And one of those winemaking methods is fermenting wine in vessels called cuevres. And cuevres are super cool. They are these clay vessels that take months to be made, and they're lined with limestone, and then the interior is lined with beeswax, and these vessels are then buried underground. And the wine, whether you're making a red wine, a white wine, a skin contact orange wine, they are all fermented in these vessels underground. And what results in that is a really unique, expressive wine that is highly aromatic, that has these savory notes. And because these cuevres are really porous, it'll have a lot of oxidative qualities in the wine. So you're going to be getting wines from Georgia that almost kind of have these sherry notes to them, but they're really unique, really special. And it's just so cool that winemakers are using these, environmentally pure winemaking methods that they've been doing for thousands of years, and they're not really switching it up. So I think that is the key component to why I love Georgian wine so much, because they're just incredibly complex, and it's so cool to just see these winemakers stay rooted in those traditions and these natural winemaking processes. And in addition to that, Georgian wines, like I said, they don't have the same credibility or popularity as so many of their counterparts, like Italian wines and French wines. And so they're fairly undiscovered. There's not a lot of demand for them on the market. And so what results in that is more affordable wine. So you have a lot of small producers that are creating some incredible wine, and you can get this wine for between $15 and $30 for a really good bottle at your local bottle shop. I bought this one the other day. The producer, it's a Georgian wine, and the producer is DeLeo, and it comes from one of their indigenous grapes, Separavi, which is a red varietal. It's a 2019. It was absolutely delicious with my steak the other night, and it was $20 for the bottle. And then, in addition, and I forgot to mention this earlier, the really cool thing about Georgian wines is that in Georgia, there's probably over 400 grape varietals that are indigenous to Georgia within that country. And so when you go to explore Georgian wines, you're going to be trying some styles and grape varietals that you've never heard of before. So it's a really fun way to branch out from your Cabernets, from your Rieslings, from all these wines that you probably drink on a daily basis. So you're going to find some really funky, unique stuff coming out of Georgia. Now, as far as the styles you should look for, Georgian wine, they have a ton of really good and delicious orange skin contact wines. They're also playing around a lot right now with some pet nats. They have a ton of natural wines, and they even have some semi-sweet red wines that you'll find on the market. So, like I said, go to your local bottle shop or shop online. see what Georgian wine you can find. Highly recommend checking out some wines from this country. This one in particular, the DeLeo 2019, really delicious. And that's it for today. Okay, bye guys.